Really? Of course, right when I start. The rat race is not about work. It's about dependency. It's about dependency on a structure that is failing you. It's about dependency on a mindset that we were taught as children that just is no longer available. And it stresses us out. It burns us out. It tires us out. I have a story I want to share with you guys about all of us, really. So let's talk about it. So let me tell you this story about someone who thought they were building wealth and thought they were doing the right things, but instead what they got was fragility. Okay? So this is not about getting rich, and this is not about quitting your job tomorrow, and it's not a crypto hype stream. It's about how crypto is a tool that's going to give you what you actually want. Right? It's a tool, this phone. It's a tool that's going to allow you the real freedom that you're looking for. And a lot of people confuse that freedom with money and with wealth. And I think it's because they have a wrong idea of the definition of wealth. So I want to tell you a story about someone who thought they were building wealth, and it turns out they were not. They're a normal person, right? About 35 years old, mortgage, couple car payments, works a good job, health insurance. From the outside, everything looks great. But from the inside, this person is dying inside, right? Money in, money out, constant pressure from everywhere because the entire structure is income dependent. The entire structure is job dependent. So everything looks great from the outside, but this person is completely exhausted. And they're doing everything right. They're doing everything they were taught. They were doing everything they were told to be a good little soldier and have a successful life. Now, somewhere along the lines, this person had a mind shift, right? They couldn't do this anymore. The burnout was too strong. So they started building systems. Because they weren't broke, they were fragile, right? They had money, they had assets, but they were stuck with debt slavery. So what they start doing, they started developing systems. They started eliminating debt. They started simplifying their life and building structure and systems that's going to give them what they're looking for in the future. And as they start developing this, they start realizing the most valuable thing they have is time. Time is the most valuable asset we have in our lives. There will not be more. And when you go through life, and for some reason, when you get to about 35, 40, 45 years old, you look back and you start realizing that time is only going faster. The older you get, the faster time goes. And we're not going to get more of it. And that burnout sets in. And then you start thinking about, what am I going to do with these assets? I have all these assets now. You've built up the assets, and now you are still in the scarcity mindset. You're still going to work. Now that fear of not knowing what to do and that fear of not having assets has turned into a fear of loss or a fear of instability because you've built up these assets, but now you still have to go to work and you're afraid to lose the assets because what you've built is money. You've built assets, but it's not giving you what you're looking for. And that's when most people start to get to phase 3, the transition period. Once you've realized and got to the point that your time is more valuable than money, you start transitioning and looking at the systems from a different perspective. It's not all about how much money is in the bank. It's all about what wealth looks like to you. Is wealth your time? Can you live in a $100,000 house in the middle of nowhere, but be perfectly content and have your time? Because if we are grinding away at a job that does not fulfill our mission and purpose as humans, period, you are going to burn out. You can't do it. You'll have to find some other reason to motivate you or keep you going. And then once you get to the point where you find whatever that alignment is for you, then you can really develop a system to set you up, right? Cash flow is king. Cash flow is what's going to give you your financial freedom. So we talk about investing in cryptocurrency and building assets. That's one leg of this story. That's just one element. It's one tool, but you need to look into other things. And I'm not going to give you all the details, but when you start looking into other things like creating your own business, LLCs, tax write-offs, and don't worry, I'm not selling you LLCs. I'll tell you right now, you can go make your own LLC for $50 in 5 minutes. It's super simple, okay? But creating a business, getting informed on your taxes. I know this is really boring stuff right now, but there are literally rule books written to help you keep your money in your pocket and help you build systems that is going to keep money in your pocket and allow you to be more successful building your future moving forward. The rule books are written. We just have to read them. There's things like LLC. There's things like insurance. There's things like setting your kids up for success in the future while also using those things, okay? There is a whole umbrella scheme of tools to help you be successful moving forward. We just have to open the rule books. And I'm hoping to bring that to you guys moving forward, as well as the tools that we need to build the assets, right? Because truthfully, what I've started to find is a lot of the people coming into the streams are very similar to me in the sense that their time is more precious to them than anything. They're so burnt out, they're so tired, they're so confused, and they're just completely tired of working and grinding every day at a job they hate, and they just have nothing left. They're just done because nothing is aligned, right? Mission and purpose is everything in life. If you do not align with your mission and purpose, you will burn out and become a hollow shell of yourself. And it's a painful lesson, but the lesson has to be learned, because this story that I just told you about, if you're sitting here thinking it's about you, this story is about me. I've done it multiple times, okay? And I had to learn the lessons the hard way over and over again until I finally got myself into a situation where, yeah, I had medical issues and I had to stop working, but the system absorbed the shock and allowed me to pivot in a different direction from a place of strength, right? That's the goal. It's not necessarily, again, wealth is not about money. Wealth is a mindset. What is wealth to you is going to be different than what it is to someone else. So what system you need, I'm going to challenge all of you to really think about what you want to accomplish, where you're at in your life. What have you figured out? What lessons have you learned so you can build the appropriate system for you to exit that rat race moving forward? Because the exit is closer than people think. The exit to the grind, the exit to the rat race is as simple as a shift in your mindset. And as soon as you start thinking about what's important and what you actually want to accomplish, it becomes a lot easier to develop that plan and execute it, right? It's about building a system and a structure that you can follow that is going to support you and your wants. Just because someone else wants a mansion in the burbs doesn't mean that you can't be fine with a shanty on 2 acres somewhere. If you have your peace, you have your peace. It's what about you find happiness in your life, right? What's happiness defined as to you? Now, enough about exiting the rat race. Let's get back to the tools. I appreciate every single person on being here today. I've seen you guys keep the chat going. Now it's time for some crypto. I wasted about 10 minutes of time, but I want to try to actually create a real idea of people coming in on why we do this every day. It's not about crypto hype. We cover crypto and we cover what's happening because it's part of my foundational pillars as far as building out structure in the future for me. And a lot of you have invested in crypto and silver and a lot of the infrastructure assets that we discuss every day as part of that strategy. And a lot of people here have been very successful with it and have put themselves in excellent positions. I really couldn't be happier that there's so many people on par, or not on par, but there's so many people who are looking for a different way to look at this rat race. And this is the beacon. This is the homing beacon for it. We are going to change the mindset. That is the goal. So into crypto we go. Let's see what we're dealing with here today. So XRP shooting up, shooting down. Well, really, all of crypto is shooting up and shooting down right now. The question is why? Well, that's a actually simple answer that a lot of people don't want to talk about. It's because of ICE. It's because of Minnesota. So the odds of a government shutdown spiked this weekend over funding issues because of Homeland Security due to ICE and the events that happened in Minnesota. Of course, nothing to do with the stock market, nothing to do with crypto, but this is why we had such a sharp decline over the weekend and why we had such a sharp incline in gold and silver. Because again, we follow gold and silver. I hold gold and silver. A lot of you hold gold and silver for infrastructure plays, right? So this volatility we're seeing in the market right now is all political. This has nothing to do with the Clarity Act. There's going to be another discussion on the Clarity Act. There's not a vote. There's supposed to be another discussion on the Clarity Act this week. There was a lot of talk that there was going to be a vote on the Clarity Act this week. That's not the case. It was just more discussion on the markups, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen due to weather. And if it gets pushed back even further and we have a government shutdown, you can see where this is going. You know what I'm saying? So brace for impact. That means silver go up. Silver, gold, right? When there's uncertainty in the markets, when there's uncertainty with the dollar, when we have all of these things going on, the hedge is silver, gold, and physical assets that hold value. So if you're holding silver, I don't know if the pump is over. We're going to find out as this uncertainty unfolds with our government on how high this is going to go. Again, I hold silver. I got in. I think my average is $55. I know several of you hold silver as well. I also hold gold and copper. Let's see what copper's doing right now. Copper is up as well, not quite as much as silver, but it is up over $6 now on the futures. And then gold, what's our gold doing? Do I have gold pulled up here? There's gold futures. Gold's up as well. So really, all of the infrastructure plays are doing well, with the exception of crypto, because again, uncertainty means risk on assets go down. However, there are a couple winners right now for the day. Everyone's coming back up today. Don't exactly know why everything's recovering today. Probably just too much of a sell-off due to the uncertainty of the government shutdown yesterday. But everything's up a little bit today. Again, my 5 pillars are XRP, Chainlink, HBAR, Ondo, and Canton Network. Canton being down a little bit today, but they don't follow Bitcoin. Canton kind of moves on its own drum there, beat of its own drum. But everything is up overall for today. Again, Crypto Bubbles is an excellent source. You can come on here and you can see where you can purchase every crypto that you might be interested in. But again, before you purchase anything, do your own research. I am not a financial advisor. You need to do your own research, okay? None of this is financial advice. It is for entertainment and educational purposes only. However, again, the goal is to build systems and help people create a new mindset to move forward and get out of that rat race, to get out of this scarcity mindset. You are closer than you think. You're closer than you think. I can say that. I had some very positive conversations this weekend that have rejuvenated me. So they know who they are. Let's see here. But today's daily volume is in. We're up 15. Let's see. Looks like 15 million in volume. We did have outflows last week. It was a bad week for XRP. Again, we're not seeing much as far as, man, my nose is all itchy. We're not seeing much as far as ETF supply shock, right? We discussed our supply shock model, but there has been no increase in what's actually being held in ETFs. We're still sitting around 780. Again, we had outflows from last week when we were up over 800 million. The market is in a holding pattern right now as far as crypto goes, it looks like. Now, I can't say that we're in a bear market because everything's at all-time highs, right? Everything else in the stock market's at all-time highs with the exception of crypto. It has not rolled into crypto yet. So, again, when there's blood in the streets, buy the deep. To be honest with you, I hate to say this because I don't want price to go down for anyone. I don't want number to go down for anyone. But I'm actually kind of hoping this government shutdown goes through at this point. I I'm closing on my house next week and I'm about to go on a crypto shopping spree. So I would love the number to stay down for me for a little bit longer so I can pick some up on the cheap, because I don't think we're staying this low forever. We're probably going to have a little bit of a pullback, but especially if the government shuts down. But I mean, nothing fundamentally has changed for crypto. Everything in crypto is bullish, as far as from legislation to investment to everything, as far as adoption. Everything's bullish. It's just right now the market in crypto is down because it's still considered a risk asset. We don't have clarity. But to me, that just screams buying opportunity to me. Again, not financial advice. So let's see what's happening on Ledger. With the XRP Ledger, we follow this. I follow this. You guys follow it with me. And again, engage in the chat. Keep the chat rolling. I'm going to come in and we're going to answer all of the questions, and then we'll go through a recap of everything of the story. And maybe more I tell the story, I'll get better at telling it. But that was my life story. Anyway, so as we move forward here, we are currently still over 1 million and still maintaining over 1 million, trying to get up to 1.5 million. Again, account set transaction activity is still maintaining over the 40K and has not slowed down. I'm still waiting for other people to talk about it. I'm trying to get answers. I've been reaching out to people at Ripple being like, what the heck is going on with this? And why will no one talk about it? Yeah, this literally, I have not seen anyone else discuss this insane amount of account set activity, which if you look at the history of the ledger is more than its entire history combined 10 times over at this point. It's just not stopping. So we should see that translate into payments activity, and more people are being onboarded into or with Ripple. So more big news from the Middle East. Ripple is partnering with Geo Movement, the innovational arm of Riyadh Bank, to advance Saudi Arabia's financial future through blockchain innovation. The kingdom's visionary leadership has established Saudi Arabia as a forward-thinking global hub for digital for digital transformation. Together with Jill, we will explore use cases for cross-border payments, digital asset custody, and tokenization. Now remember, tokenization real estate is very, very popular in the Middle East. Lots of tokenization coming on to the XRP Ledger. And again, we talk about we need assets. We need tokenization on Ledger, so there are things to switch between, right? XRP is a bridge liquidity asset. It needs to provide liquidity, and the only way it's going to provide liquidity is if you have to swap things, right? So that is the more tokenization and the more things that are brought on Ledger and the more activity that is increased on Ledger will translate to payment activity, will translate to the use of XRP. This is why RLUSD is necessary as far as bridging XRP with traditional finance. We're going to need tokenized dollars. We're going to need tokenized stocks, tokenized money markets, tokenized real estate. This is going to be the year of tokenization and interoperability. It's what we need to focus on as we're following the crypto space, because it is only going to accelerate. I've been saying it's only going to accelerate for the last 2 months, and it's only freaking accelerating. We can learn the lessons. It's going to continue. Now, whether the government shuts down or not, this could put a kink in that chain. But again, as we watch that interview with CZ, when we zoom out, the direction is really easy to see. It's going to go up. Blockchain infrastructure is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And let me see, do I still have it? I do still have it. And this is why we follow our tokenized financial ecosystem. There's going to be different layers of this, just like was built out in the internet. You're going to have your infrastructure. You're going to have your data layer. You're going to have your utility layer. You're going to have your market or retail layer, right? Everyone's going to specialize in their own thing. It's who works together that's honestly probably going to win. And I can foresee, again, speculation, we've been talking about partnerships between some of these people, right? What we've already seen partnerships with Solana and Ondo. There's rumors of an Ondo and XRP partnership. XRP is already working with Solana, okay? If you get a few of these guys working together, you can create a powerhouse in blockchain technology. I think we're going to see some of that moving forward. Again, not financial advice, but it is some of the things that I am looking out for right now. So let's hop into the chat and talk to everybody today. Let me see. I'm going to try something new with the chat and see if it'll let me do it, because there's a way to pop things up. There's only 11 people in the stream right now. Let's see if this pulls it up. There should be a way for me to show, like, to pull up these chats as I'm looking at them and talking to them. I'm trying to figure out if I can figure out how to do that. Put user in timeout. I don't want to put user in timeout. I want to be able to click these and they show up in the stream so you can see what chat I'm talking about. And I know there's a way to do it. I just haven't figured it out yet. Maybe one day I will figure it out. However, let's go ahead and talk to everybody in the chat, find out what exactly is going on today. There's only 11 of you, but I'm going to take my time and see what's what. So, Crypto Roger in the house today saying silver hit $16 today. He meant 116. He got to put a dollar in there now. We're in the triple digits now. He says there will be $20 days of volatility. I completely agree with you, especially with everything we're, all the uncertainty we're dealing with the government shutdown, the government shutdown potentially at the end of this month. I do agree with you that silver and gold and any of those assets that are a hedge against the dollar and a hedge against uncertainty are definitely going to have some serious volatility. But there are exciting times ahead. It's going to make it fun to track, that's for sure. Sir Charles is in the house talking about exciting times ahead as well. And It's Coming 589 said, good evening from London. Welcome from London. Appreciate you taking the time to be here. For those of you in the stream, if you haven't told me already before, where are you from? Where's everyone from? I know most of you at this point because it's a lot of the same regulars. But again, if you're coming into the stream and you're new, again, I stream every single day, Monday through Friday at 12. We discuss crypto news. We discuss the market, what's going on in the market. We follow multiple cryptos and assets, including gold, silver, and copper, as well as XRP, Bitcoin, because everything follows Bitcoin, but I'm not a Bitcoin holder. However, Canton Network, Chainlink, HBAR, and Ondo, as well as many, many more. Let's see. Crypto Roger says, my mom was just in London a few days ago. You guys are lucky, man. All this travel. I can't wait to get to the point where I can travel again soon, though. Hopefully soon. Abdul said, good morning from North California. All right, so we got California, London, and I believe Florida in the house already today. Resident B said hello to everybody. Desiree DeBellis made it in today. She says, good morning from Northern California. All right, another Northern Cali. It's Coming 589 says she hoped she had a pleasant trip. Yeah, London looks gorgeous. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to Italy. I mean, Italy's in Europe, obviously. But I just want to see Europe. I want to see Europe. I want to see the Mediterranean. I want to see South America. I want to see everything. When XRP goes to $1,000, I'm traveling the globe. That's what I want to do. If it, when it gets to that point. So 10 years from now, when I'm 50, I'll be traveling. Let's see here. Crypto Rogers says, I was that guy years ago. Now others can't believe what I did in my solitude. They thought they'd beaten me down, but before they knew it, I rebounded larger than they ever could have. And that's the point. It's about, and you're absolutely right, Crypto Roger. I was that guy too. And there's so many people who are that guy right now. And that's exactly who this channel is for. That guy or that woman or that person, okay? Because there's so many people who were fed a bad bill of goods, not just about crypto, not just about necessarily XRP and the price predictions and stuff like that, but you were taught, go to school, go to college, get a degree, go to a job, work your life away till you're 65 and then chill. Oh no, your life's over, right? I'm bucking that trend. I want my life now, not later. And there's ways we can do it. And that's why I say the more you sacrifice when you're younger, the less you have to sacrifice when you're older. But not only that, it's about the mental picture of what freedom is too. It's not about being able to get to the point and quit your job or having a certain number of money in the bank. But if you have a few businesses that only cost you maybe $5,000 or $10,000 to set up, and you grow them over a few years to where they're making $1,000 or $2,000 a month in profit, then you're no longer reliant on a job with multiple income streams, right? It's not just about investing. Investing is a great tool. It's one of the tools that gives us the freedom when we have capital to deploy that capital and use it to create cash flow. And then when we create cash flow, we're not dependent on any one system. That relieves stress, it relieves anxiety. It gives us a lot more confidence in our investing when the numbers going up and down, to where we don't have to panic sell when number goes down because we over leveraged or put way too much money in. So it's when you start it, it almost feels like you're creating security. But once you've built it, you realize what you've created is the exit you were looking for, right? Where you can walk in and be in that state of FU. If you're new to the channel, I say the state of FU. You know, your boss wants you to do something you want to do, FU. Alarm goes off and you don't want to wake up, FU, right? Being able to get yourself to that point where you are self-reliant on the systems you have built, to where you can have your time, your peace, and not be stressed, and you can pursue your mission and your purpose and not become a robot. I was that robot. I was that shell of a man, and that is a scary, horrible place to be. And I don't want that for anyone. Let's see here. The Three Brothers says, good afternoon and happy Monday. Happy Monday, Three Brothers. I do love Monday streams. Monday streams are always super energetic. I absolutely love it. Crypto Rogers says, but I recognize God has been working on me and raising me like Lazarus from my lowest station to my highest. Again, everyone has faith. I've prayed to God many times, especially when I was laying in a hospital bed, just so freaking grateful to be alive so that I could continue to see my daughter grow. And that was my perspective shift. That's what made me focus on my time. Almost dying will do that to you. But that's what made me focus on my time. It gave me the wake-up call that everything can change like that. And I didn't have anyone to rely on except for myself, right? The ex-wife left. I don't have any family out here. I was truly 100% on my own in that moment. So luckily I had built those systems and created the opportunity. And now I don't work for an employer anymore, and I can do what I want to do every day. I wake up when I feel like it, and it is amazing. Let's see here. It's Coming 589 says, just so you know, an ad just popped up and I couldn't hear a word you said for about 30 seconds to a minute. That was annoying. So the monetization part of it, I've tried to create it to where there's a way for the ads to not show up during the stream. Some people get them, some people don't. I'm still working out the details of it. I literally just turned on monetization like a few days ago. So I'm still working the kinks out. I apologize for that. But as monetization is on, memberships are open to everyone too. We've got the whole array of things. So now you can become a Longview Compute member, and the first 100 members will be the founding members, and they will never have to upgrade. Their membership will cover everything that is added to Longview Compute from now until the end of time, 10 years from now. That is my special thank you to all of you. Super chats are available, donations are available. You don't have to, but they are there. Excuse me. They are there for you. Let's see, because I've been asked before, where are super chats? So now super chats are available for everyone. Let's see here. Crypto Roger said, even when I yelled at God, seeing no path forward, even then he was rebuilding my spirit despite my blindness to it. Well, adversity creates strength, right? I mean, truthfully, I won't go religious with it, Crypto Roger, but I will say this. Change is uncomfortable. And a lot of times we get put in positions we hate and are terrible. But without those positions, we wouldn't learn the lesson we needed to learn, and we wouldn't make the change we needed to make to allow ourselves to progress. Now, the people who sit there and they become victimized of their situation, I feel for you. I do. I have sympathy for everyone who's had a bad situation. But we have to accept reality for what it is. Right? Reality is reality. The situation is the situation, regardless of what put you in that situation. So, yeah, it sucks, but we have to adapt, change, and move forward, because otherwise we're just going to whine and complain and nothing's going to get better. Sometimes the hard lesson has to be learned, myself included. I've learned plenty of hard lessons in my day. But that's kind of how I relate to your thought, Crypto Rogers. Even when it sucks, like, there's a lesson to be learned in that darkness. There truthfully is. Isaac says, thanks for wasting time. I got in late and didn't miss anything. Well, I'm going to recap it. You missed something pretty big, Isaac. I mean, we're covering the crypto stuff now, but I was telling a story that I'm going to tell again here in a little bit, but it is very important. I will do the recap for you guys here soon because we all want to get out of the rat race, I hope. Now, exiting the rat race doesn't mean no longer working. Exiting the rat race means you decide the terms of what you're doing, right? To bring your life back to your terms and live the life you want to live, right? Not being dependent on someone else. Let's see here. It's Coming 589 says, like the video and help out the channel. One of the very few out there who doesn't use hopium and hype. I appreciate that. No, I don't. I try to use truth and structure, and hopefully that rings through. And as the channel grows and more people grow to the channel and the streams get bigger, I do think it's going to become like just a black hole effect, right? As soon as I think as soon as the channel gets some size and people, and because, right, a lot of people won't jump into a stream or won't jump into a channel if they only see 30, 40, 50 people into it because it doesn't have enough social proof, right? That's just human psychology. But as it continues to grow, as we continue to grow out the audience and we like the stream and engage in the stream, right? Remember, engagement is the number one thing that's going to help it grow, right? Staying here, watching, engaging, getting more and more people in the stream. The bigger the number, the more people it gets shown to, right? So every time you guys hit that reaction button, every time you guys hit the like button, every time you guys engage in the chat, every single time that happens, it's helping grow the stream. So I want to thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. And like I say, time is your most important, valuable asset. And I truly do believe that. So thank everyone for taking their time to be here and investing it with me. That means a lot to me. It truly does. Sir Charles says, what's the first system you'd recommend someone build if they're still working a 9 to 5? Okay. So if you're still working 9 to 5, the first thing I would say everyone needs to do is build up your foundation, right? Your foundation is zero credit card debt. So zero credit card debt, have some savings. Like you can have your savings in crypto for all I care, but have some savings, right? Have something to lean back on in the event of an emergency so you don't have to panic sell something. You know what I'm saying? There should be an allotted amount that is designed for safety purposes in case of an emergency. That's going to be stress relief for you. And again, you can hold that in whatever you want. It can be in crypto. It should just be something that's easily liquid, something that you can get a hold of within a week if you need it. You know what I'm saying? So you should have that available regardless of whatever you hold it in. You should have a liquid emergency fund. I'm not going to tell you to hold it in a savings account because I hate banks and savings accounts are a waste of money. You're better off holding it in stablecoin yield in Coinbase. And you guys know how I feel about Coinbase. But so the first system would be to create your safety layer. All right. So that way you can operate from a place of strength. Now, the second thing I would recommend everyone do, whatever your hobby is, whatever your mission and purpose is, start an LLC. Start some kind of business. I don't care if it makes $100 a month. You need to be building something you're passionate about. And that LLC is going to give you tons of avenues to save money and write off taxes and better your family in the long view, even if it's only making a couple $100 a month. Again, not financial advice. Talk to a CPA, but the tax deductions and the things that become available to you when you're starting your own business that can help you in just your regular personal life. And if it's something you love doing, it's not going to feel like work anyway, right? If you're already doing it, you're just putting a name on it and having that sense of business ownership. It's prideful. It feels good to say, I have my own business. Even if it's only $100, screw everyone else. They don't need to know what you're making. You have your own business. You're setting systems in places to help you. You're learning, you're educating. That puts you ahead of 99% of the other people out there just going through the grind. So the number one thing, safety, security, and structure that I would build out is creating your foundation and pursuing whatever that passion is. Those should be the first two things: the foundation and the passion. And then you build from those two things. Once you have the foundation, you're safe. You have that freedom, that little breath that you can pursue that passion fully, and then you pursue it. Now, that doesn't mean quit your job. I mean, it could be a couple hours here and there, whatever the case, but taking a step towards building, period. That would be my first system. Let's see here. Sir Charles says, Crypto Roger, powerful testimony, my friend. Powerful testimony. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's exactly why we're here, to create a community of people like this, like myself, like Crypto Roger, like Isaac, like It's Coming, like Sir Charles, right? To create a community of people who want to build something better for themselves. And it's not all about money and all about hype and all about hopium. We recognize that the day-to-day numbers are going to go up and down. And yes, we follow the news and the price and everything every single day. But everyone who's been here has been here long enough to know, who've been in the crypto space long enough to know, for the most part, that these hype cycles are going to go up and down, and more people are going to lose money trying to get rich quick than they are ever going to make money. And that's what we're trying to prevent. Let's see here. Pamp Stamper became a founding member. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. And It's Coming gave me a super chat. Thank you very much. Happy to contribute to you and your channel. Stay blessed. I appreciate that. It's Coming. Thank you very much. I do. You guys are amazing. This is amazing. I appreciate it. Let's see here. So the super chats just threw me all the way down there. So Pam Stamper's in the house. He says, what's up, bro? Crypto Roger is from San Antonio. I remember that one. San Antonio, Texas. I went to basic training down there. Love the Riverwalk. Stephen Haynes says, I'm ready to live off grid. Just need the pump. There you go. Well, once you get your appreciation and once you create some value, then you can create your systems to continue to pay you so you can live. I mean, even if it's off grid, right? Like I'm good off grid. Like I still want to be close enough to where I can drive to a store. I don't want to go completely off grid, but I'm good with living an hour outside of a city on the country and just like a little 2-bedroom cabin. And as long as I have internet, I'm golden, man. That's paradise to me. As long as it's warm, no cold. Maybe I should go look at like Arizona. I do love the beach, but Arizona beach here. I go live in the desert. I can handle it in the desert. Just need a pool. Let's see here. Quelly79 says, XRP question. What would happen if Ripple sold 3 billion XRP to the US government for 10 cents, cost a mere 300 million in total? If XRP appreciates to 10K, that would cover more than the entire US debt. Yes, you're absolutely right, but they can't specifically just go sell it to the government for 10 cents. Now, again, blockchain, now they could sell it to the government for $2 and then appreciate it, right? They could do something like that. The government could be buying it in the back end. And that's where, honestly, a lot of this thing with the Clarity Act is happening with Trump, right? As far as people coming in and not wanting politicians to be able to benefit from it because his family is doing the World Liberty Financial and all of that. So I understand the premise, believe me. And I want it to happen because it means number goes up for me and all of you. That would be great for the people who hold XRP. I don't know if the rest of the world would be on board with that. There'd be a lot of pushback on that. Now, again, if there's some kind of global crisis, those of us who hold XRP in that situation would win, but there would be a significant amount of pain for the other 7.9 billion people in the world who don't have access to it. Because that means the dollar is gone. If XRP rapidly appreciates like that with the US government, that means the dollar is now gone. Because I don't think the rest of the world would stand for it. Just my opinion, not financial advice. Let's see here. Race Fan made it into the stream today. Hello, Race Fan. Appreciate you being here today. Crypto Roger says most people at the bottom blame everyone else instead of growing themselves. Those people are cutting themselves off from the source. Gratitude and forgiveness is so much more powerful than anything else. You're absolutely right, Roger. I mean, it's not only that, but here's the thing about victim mentality. When you blame yourself, you have no control over the outcome or the situation. If it's always somebody else's fault for your situation, you're saying you have no control over your life and it will never be better than what someone else says it is. That is unacceptable. It's an unacceptable mindset, and you are not going to get anywhere with that. You are going to have a miserable life if you live it that way. So I would be the first person to say, take accountability for everything, even if it's not yours to take. But if by taking accountability means that you can impact a change. So if you are responsible, then you can change it. And if you accept the responsibility of where your life is now and want to change it, that's the first step, is to take accountability. You're in the spot you're in now, whether you like it or not, as a result of the choices you've made to this point. Now, granted, is everything your fault or circumstances outside of your control? 100%. But that's the same way for everyone in the world. Now, some people get better circumstances than others, but that's reality. We can't complain about reality. I mean, you can, but it's not going to do anything for you. My opinion, not financial advice. I completely agree with you, Crypto Roger. Gratitude will go further. Being grateful for what you have and building for what you want are going to get you way further than complaining. So again, Pam Stamper became a founding member. I appreciate that. And as you become a member too, don't forget you get fun little emojis and things like that. You are also going to get a weekly live stream. So as it stands right now, that weekly live stream is going to go to 2 people. So they're basically going to get one-on-ones until we grow this sucker out. Crypto Roger said, cool. Race fan says, been busy with work and buying the dip. Good for you, race fan. That's right. Blood in the street, buy the deep. Pam Stamper says, my pleasure, bro. I appreciate your level-headed approach. Well, I mean, I plan on building YouTube, don't get me wrong, but the goal is not to build out YouTube at the expense of lying to people or filling people up with something that's not going to help them. The goal is to help people over the long view. The systems are about the long view. If I catch 10 people who are 35 and then 10 years from now, they build a system that gives them this kind of freedom, I accomplished my goals. I am happy with that result. I mean, the goal is to get it to as many people as possible. But I'd be happy with 10. If I helped to inflict change on 10 people's lives for the positive, then that's success to me. Now I say help to inflict change because ultimately it's up to the person to make the decisions and take the information and do their research and change themselves. Not financial advice. Let's see here. Sir Charles said, Thailand is warm. I got you, Charles. Well, that would be after the kids are growing up too, because I'm divorced, so I can't take my daughter to Thailand without permission. So I gotta wait for something like that. But I was actually, I mean, it's a lot more expensive, but I've been really looking at Japan. I think Japan would be awesome. Again, we gotta wait for the pump on some of these things, but the pump is going to depict, probably where I end up. The system is going to be the same. The pump is just going to dictate how nice it is, truthfully. But I like the culture out there. Thailand might be an option, honestly. I'm not, once my daughter is 18, I'm not glued down anywhere other than, of course, my girlfriend and her daughter as well. And she's up to travel also. I mean, I'm not opposed to leaving the country. There's a lot that can happen in 10 years, though. Let's see here. Pam Stamper says, the energy you put out is the energy you get back. Don't like what you're getting, change your energy. Absolutely. You can see it. You can see it in people as they walk through life. It always looks like there's those people that just have that extra edge, that extra confidence. And usually it comes to self-belief and self-confidence. And a lot of it has gratitude. A lot of those people are in no better position than you. Most of the time. Again, you're all smart people. We just don't necessarily all have knowledge of the tools. We all have the same rule book. We just need to pick it up and read it. Let's see here. Crypto Roger said, but I give credit to Source for helping me reach 6 figures of XRP. There you go, Crypto Roger. Good for you, man. Good for you. Let's see here. Zoro says XDC crashed hard. Did it? I didn't even look. Let's see. Let's look at XDC. XDC. Oh, I'm not. Oh, crashed hard. 0.7%. Oh, it had a pretty big dip there for a second. But I mean, everything crashed hard over the weekend. So let's do a recap. I've gone through the chat. Let's do a recap for everyone who came in late here, okay? So first, let me get back to my outline so I can recap it correctly. The video is about exiting the rat race, and many of you are closer than you think. You truly are closer than you think. It doesn't take as much money as you think it does to truly exit the rat race. What it takes is systems and a mindset, right? So truly, what do you value? What is happiness and peace and retirement look for you? Because we're not talking about quitting our jobs. We're not talking about never working again. We're talking about taking our time back. The most valuable asset in your life is time. It's the rarest asset. There will never be more of it. And the older you get, the faster it freaking goes. Seriously, I mean, every single year I get older, it just seems like it goes by faster and faster and faster. The weeks seem like days, the years seem like weeks, okay? It is ridiculous. So everyone is tired. Everyone's exhausted. Let me tell you a story, and I apologize for the recap. I'll make the story quicker. But let me tell you a story about a 35-year-old guy. He's got a great job. He makes $100K a year. He's got 2 cars. He's got a house. He's got a kid. Everyone's taken care of. They're building investment. They got a little bit of credit card debt, but money in is money out. And this guy is stressed, or this person, could be a female, is stressed every single day because they are dependent on the wrong structure. They're dependent on their income. Now, this doesn't mean quit your job, but you have to understand what you're building for, okay? Fail to plan, plan to fail. You need to create systems that are going to create peace for you, that are truly going to align you with what you are wanting to build for the future. And for me, that's time. Time is the greatest value for me. So when you look at what systems you're going to build, yes, we need to generate income. We need to generate assets. We need to eliminate debt. We need to simplify our life and create a structure that is easy for us to continue to build and be successful, to create systems, to create assets, to create a security mindset, and to create a stability mindset. And as you're doing that, you're going to learn the lessons. You're not chasing money. You're not building buffers, okay? You're creating a structure and you're designing stability for the future you want that's going to create that value that you want. So what is value? What do you value? So the goal is to create systems and use things that we have, LLCs, insurance, right? Once you build up the assets, you have to worry about getting sued. You don't want to lose your assets. It's crazy that when people have nothing, they want to build, and build up these assets. But there's so many people that are on the opposite end of the coin that they have done that over the last 5, 6, 7 years, and they've built the assets, and now they're afraid to mess it up, right? What are they going to do with it? And that's why we create systems that are going to create cash flow for you so you can go out and build the life that you want to live without being stuck or dependent on one system. Multiple systems, fail safes, right? So you can continue growing and continue building out and find that peace and accomplish those goals that you want to accomplish. You can exit the rat race with as little as $250,000 easily. And when I say exit the rat race, again, it doesn't mean never work. But it means you could go to work for yourself. You could create income structures that are going to pay you from multiple different ways. You can get that peace and that time back. It's up to what you want to build for and what your current situation is. Again, not financial advice. So we also talked about crypto as a whole. For the last year, it's been getting destroyed. with the exception of Zcash. There's tons of buying opportunity right now. Again, building for the long view. It's not what price is today. It's about a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 10% of your income for 10 years. If you can do 10% of your income for 10 years, at the end of that, you will be in a position to build these systems and these structures and exit, right? But again, you have to build the foundation first. Get rid of the credit card debt. If you're holding thousands of dollars of credit card debt while you're holding thousands of dollars of crypto, you're doing it wrong, okay? Not financial advice. So today, now let's talk about crypto and what's going on with prices. So let me switch to XRP real quick. That's gold. We don't want gold. We want XRP. So let's switch to XRP real quick. So XRP plummeted over the weekend, then rised back up. Why did it plummet over the weekend? Why did it rise back up? Well, it plummeted over the weekend because of everything going on with ICE and with Homeland Security and the budget, right? So basically, Democrats, after everything that happened in Minnesota with ICE over the weekend, are now saying they're not going to approve the budget due to the Homeland Security. It's their way of fighting back against ICE, okay? So government shutdown looming, 75% chance that the government will shut down this week. And then we had a slight recovery this morning. But that's why the price jumped off a cliff. I'm not certain that this is going to maintain and hold. We want to again make sure it stays above EMA 9. But that's why the market took a dump today. It was all has to do with the government. No bad information came out about crypto. So when we're looking at ETFs, we're still having volume come in today, 16.57 million of volume so far today. We did have outflows last week. It was the first week of outflows, not the first day, but it was the first week of outflows. There's only one day of outflows, but it was enough to take it down for the entire week. We've been following the ledger activity. As always, account set activity still maintaining up here more than the history of the ledger. And no one will tell me why. So the only thing we know is there is a bunch of accounts coming online. I'll keep reaching out to people. Again, you can follow me on X. It's at Longview Crypto. Again, more big news from the Middle East. If you missed the short today, Ripple is partnering with Geo Movement, the innovation arm of Riyadh Bank, to advance Saudi Arabia's financial future through blockchain innovation. The kingdom's visionary leadership has established Saudi Arabia as forward-thinking global hub for digital transformation. Together with Geo, we'll explore use cases for cross-border payments, digital asset custody, and tokenization in support of the Vision 2030 agenda. We're starting to see and hear about this 2030 agenda. Remember, we heard about the 2030 agenda first a while back from the WEF, right? They had the 2030 agenda. We're starting to hear that name pop up a little bit more, something to look out for. If you want, do some research on that. Research, if you get a minute, Google WEF 2030 plan. And then let me know what you think in chat once you get done with that, maybe in the next stream or something like that. I think that'll be some information you will like. So again, government shutdown looming, 75% chance of a government shutdown at the end of this month. So again, we have gone through everything. Now again, for those of you who may be new to the stream, I hope it's growing. I don't even know how many people are in here. There's only 10 people in here. Man, I think it's getting killed from ads or something. I have never had streams this week before. Usually we have like 40 people in here. I don't understand it. Let's take a look here. I'll get back to the chat. We'll just hang out and talk then. Let's see here. Let me pull this up. Yeah, it's a little bit quiet today. So let's see what Todd Madison's a new member. Thank you, Todd. Now a founding member, getting his emojis in there. Let's see here. Now there will be 3 of us in the weekly live stream. Again, yes, if you become a member, you will have a weekly live stream. And again, anything that's built out for the channel in the future, you will also get as part of becoming a founding member. You will pay the founding member price for everything is for the length of Longview Compute. Let's see here. Sir Charles, Todd Madison, 3 and growing. 3 members and growing. Let's keep it going. I know who they are in order now. Let's see here. Zorro, yes, sir. Sir Charles hits out his emoji there. Pam Stamper's in the house. And Zorro says, I must find a new job or personal business. Still think about how to develop myself. Well, Creating an LLC is always very easy, and you can create a business off of anything. I was talking with someone the other day. I mean, you can even start doing vending machines, whatever. Remember you can find used, like the bubblegum machines and stuff like that. Like, you can find those things used on eBay for super cheap. Like, it doesn't matter. A car wash, like if you build up a little bit of money and start a car wash or whatever. The whole point is creating a business about something you're passionate about, whatever it may be. Whether it could be growing microgreens in your basement. I say that because I've done it. I have a green thumb. I used to grow green things with a medical license. But so, I mean, there's all kinds of businesses you can start. You can do microgreens. You can start a landscaping business, whatever you're passionate about. You can sell stuff on Etsy. The whole point is to start doing it and create an LLC so you can get the tax benefits of having your own business. The tax benefits of having your own business are immense, especially, I'm going to just turn off monetization on live streams from now on because it's killing the stream. So I apologize for that. But that's got to be the cause. That's got to be the only cause why the streams are not growing, is because it's got ads popping off on it. Because I've never had streams this low. But where was I? Oh yeah, but I mean, the point is, it doesn't matter what the business is, as long as it's something you're passionate about and it won't feel like putting time into it is work for you. And at that point, you create the LLC and you can use that for tax write-offs. You can get a company car. If you have children, you can hire your kids. Like, even if your job or even if your LLC is only making like $15,000 a year, right? That's still enough for you to write off health insurance or to pay your child and it be tax-free, and create, life insurance, like whole life insurance for them. There's a million different avenues of things you can do, but having your own business opens up so many possibilities of keeping money in your control versus paying it in taxes, if that makes any kind of sense. It's another tool, just like investing in crypto and it appreciating is a tool, or a 401k is a tool. Creating businesses that generate income is not only a tool that will generate the income, but it's also a tool for helping you keep your income in your household. And again, not financial advice. You'll have to discuss it with a CPA. I'm not a tax expert by any means, but in working with my CPA and my father and his, before me and all that stuff, believe me, you can keep a lot of money that you're paying out right now if you have an LLC. Food for thought. Let's see here. Desiree says, I'm here. Quelly says, yes, it sucks that ads keep interrupting. Okay. Yeah, in the future, I am going to... hang on, what's this? Interesting. There's a new button I just clicked. This is for me to engage with my people. Start a Q&A live. I'm already doing that. Answer viewer questions live. Oh, so does this allow me to, oh, this is something else. Never mind. I'm messing around with new buttons now that it's monetized. It's giving me new buttons to play with and stuff. It's all new for me. But yeah, in the future, I won't be monetizing the live streams. I'll just have to monetize the replay so it doesn't kick out the stream. So I apologize for that. Again, learning, and hopefully people catch the replay of this, because I do think I'll probably turn this into a video, to be honest with you. Yeah, I see that I can do polls, I can start Q&As, and I can actually transfer straight into a members only live stream. I can kick everybody out and only the members stay. So I'll probably do the members only live stream on a weeknight, I'm guessing, like maybe like a Wednesday or a Thursday night or something like that, or Tuesday or Wednesday night. I haven't decided yet. I don't think I'm going to do it on the weekends. I think I'm going to try and keep my weekends pretty free, because that's really the only time I get to see my girlfriend or my daughter. I still want to have some things go live on the weekends, obviously, but I'm still working out that schedule. But the members only live streams will be during the week, once a week, as well as in the future, I'll have a weekly newsletter that comes out that'll condense everything that we discussed for the week and give an outlook for the week to follow, right? What we're going to be keeping an eye on as far as announcements, dates, what's going on with price, the different levels, things like that. Basically, an all-in-one sheet that will cover everything that happened last week and what to expect. So that's something I'm working on in the future too, that will be going live for members as well. So that's all the information I have for everyone today. We covered it. I really do hope that you guys are taking the opportunity to build out systems for yourself and do the research, and really think about not just your investing from a long view perspective, but what you want to build out your life to be for a long view perspective, so you can make these systems work for you as early as possible to set you up where you want to be. And again, on top of that too, one-on-one coaching will be coming live soon. I'm setting up a website now to put everything together for everyone. It's exciting. It's great. And I appreciate every single one of you for helping me build this out for the long view. There's still a lot more coming, and the goal is to continue to grow and grow the stream far and wide. So please make sure you hit the like button on your way out so we can let everyone know that this is material they should watch. And yeah, that's the best way you can help me, guys, is to like the videos, like the streams, engage, watch for the length of the video. And that's what helps. So I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you tomorrow at noon. All right, later.